Hi everybody, I am Purple Thickman, and today we're going to be checking out Velocity Noodle. So as you can see, I've played a couple of the levels. This is primarily tutorial stuff, but we will start from the beginning just so that everyone can get a rundown of the different types of movement that are available to the player. There's some unique things that this game does that other games don't have. Typically with precision platformers, you're going to have a pretty similar type of level layouts, at least in the beginning, so that you can get used to the movement. But the good precision platformers always have some sort of like mechanic or gimmick that sets them apart from the other ones. Like say Celeste, which is like the one that kind of everyone knows, has like the climb mechanic, where you can just kind of cling to walls and do stuff like that. So let's see what this game does. All right. Hey, this new Young and Crab mandates me to give you a refresher on your delivery training. Why? I've been doing this for a while now. Don't blame me, apparently experienced people also forget stuff. I do kind of like this in-game reason for like the tutorial. I like it when games have like some sort of cheeky, like, I know like lore-wise your character has been doing this for years, but like you as a player are new, so we have to tell you how the game works. I think this is a good approach to it, just to kind of be like, hey, you know, you're doing a job, we got to do a recap. And this is something that's actually pretty... I've worked a bunch of jobs where they're like, listen, I know you've been doing this for years, but I got to make sure you know what you're doing. All right, first things first. The city's gone to shit. There's a bunch of crap all over the place. Press the jump button to jump. If you press it again in the air, you double jump. Boom! All right, and then you can kind of see the actual controller thing here. It also says, if you're playing on keyboard, C to jump. And we have the double jump. We also have the dash, which they'll show us in a later level here. All right, let's continue. Good job with the last delivery. What now? I just wanted to remind you that you can dash while on the ground. And that's it. Short and simple. You can dash. There you go. Oh, yikes. So this game also, instead of instantly killing you, has sort of heart or like a life mechanic, or health, I guess is better. So you can take a hit, I think maybe 2 before you flat out die and have to restart. Look at you, another satisfied customer. Woohoo! I can hear your sarcasm. Yeah. My notes show the area you are now lacks easy access. When you're running, press down the slide. That should give you headspace. All right, and then the slide's a little slow. But you don't really have to do anything else. You get a little bit of a running start, and then you just hold down, and it kind of slides the whole way for you. I just have to update something real quick. All right. Ring ring. For God's sakes, how many more lessons do you have? Almost there, don't worry. Delivery is all about speed, so sometimes you can't wait for doors or regular paths. Plus, access cards cost money. Oops. Jumping when wall sliding. Wall jumps, I know. Yada, yada. Quickly pressing away from the wall and jumping wall boost. Yada, yada. All right, so this is where they kind of introduce the wall jump mechanic, which is something that we already knew we could do. You can see this is when the game starts to get a little more precision platformy. Much less just like kind of running from one place to another. You actually have to do some jumping around here. All right, this is where the fun begins. Throw your sword into the electrical boxes, and you will teleport to it like magic. You never told me where you got that sword. I should have asked during your interview, and I won't. All right, so this is kind of the main gimmick. So your sword will actually teleport you around and stuff. It has sort of an auto detect on it. It'll go up just a little bit, so you don't have to be incredibly precise with it. But you know, it's not a huge leeway. Hello, what? You didn't call. Oh, well, there's nothing more for me to teach you. Use dash, air dash, sliding, and teleport to get around. Sometimes you will have sometimes you will have to combo moves. I suggest you get comfortable with jumping and teleporting. All right. let's get into it. So this is kind of the game proper here. You can pretty much do anything you want out of a teleport. So you can like air dash and then teleport and then, you know, get your jump back, which is pretty nice. It gives you a little bit of leeway, like whenever you're doing the platforming. I'm just going to go ahead and reset this level. So you can see resets are pretty fast. Oh, nothing up here? Okay. So this game does have both a go fast mechanic to it, and a collectible mechanic. So you can see it does time you per level. There's like a recommended, or not a recommended, but basically like a goal time kind of. But there are also, and maybe we'll see when I've collected the first few, but there's collectibles that are just chopsticks that are hidden around the levels for you to collect. Oh, there we go. They're one-time only collects, I believe, per level. And then you can kind of come back through and get your times lower and lower for the PB that you want. Just a reminder, speed is key. You can redo deliveries to beat goal times. Okay, yeah, so it's explaining basically what I just said. You can always progress to beat the level no matter the time. Getting enough medals will unlock harder deliveries. Okay, so I did know that. Sounds a bit hard. No need to beat yourself up on the first go. Focus on learning moves and comboing them, and have fun. Have fun. Who are you? Okay. Okay. I want to make sure I don't miss the chopsticks. Sometimes they're hidden really well in this game. Okay, so they're somewhere out here. Oh, it looks like we can't go back. Let's take the death. Always got to get the chopsticks. Maybe they're up here? Ah, there they are. Nice and hidden. Okay. I will say the devs of this game did a really good job of hiding the chopsticks. We might have to get them again. Yes, okay. But we know where they are now. Alright, so I want to avoid damage here so I can take... I was going to say the damage boost up here to get the chopsticks, but that's fine. We'll just do this. It's not super tight. The wall jumps are a little finicky. They're not maybe as tight as I would like them, but oh, it knocks you back. Okay. That might just be me mistiming it. All right, and we are out of here. So grabbing that chopstick in this level in particular cost us a pretty decent amount of time for the medal, but that is fine. It also looks like time doesn't start until you hit a directional input. Okay, so this is bouncy, more bouncy. All right, chopsticks. Not down here. Ah, there they are. Okay. There we go. Nice. So a little bit of comboing on the bounce pads can be done, which is pretty cool. When you need to get through tight areas, air dash is a good tool. Okay. So a little bit of a reminder there, I guess. Oh, what am I doing? I was like, oh, obviously we have to air dash to do this. I totally forgot about the sword mechanic. They probably meant right here. Whoa, okay. Classic. Chopsticks. I don't see any. I am still keeping an eye on those whenever I'm going through these levels. Ah, there they are. Ooh, okay. So maybe there's something, yeah. Something underneath those to bounce us back up. And I'll actually, once we collect all the chopsticks for these first few levels, I'll actually go back through and try and get some pretty solid times on these levels once I don't have to worry about the collectibles. Okay, we saved it. Got it. Oh no, that's the goal. No! Alright, well, we're going to have to go to level select now. I guess there's about 16 levels, so we'll collect all the chopsticks for the levels, and then we'll come back through and get gold times on all of these levels. Oh, okay, so it almost got me again there. Alright, bit of a tight jump here. Whew, alright, but we can take the the damage boost off the saw blades there and get the chopsticks. That might actually be required because that's a really tight jump otherwise. Chopsticks. Let's go over real quick. Yep. Chopsticks. Does this kill us? I think it does. No shortcuts here. Alright, we want to go. Now, there we go. Oh! So close there. Okay. We know where to go now. Oh, a little close. So it looks like you actually don't go faster on the ground after the initial dash, which is pretty nice that you don't have to hit the dash button a bunch of times. I will say sliding is a little tight, like the window to nail a slide. Because if you don't hit the slide area within a certain amount of frames, you actually just stop sliding. You don't continue to slide. You can see that it just kind of stops short. All right. No fooling around this time. There we go. All right, we are through. On to the next one. Wall to wall. All right. No chopstick over here. Chopsticks down here. Does not look like it. They're not this way either. Okay, so they want us to dash there. That's where the goal is. All right. So if there's going to be chopsticks, they're going to be over here. There we go. So I will say that another one of the mechanics is you can actually kind of delay your movement a little bit in the air with this sword. So if you need like an extra second to think, you can toss your sword out, and it gives you a little bit more leeway to kind of figure out what's going on. Again, I'm just looking for chopsticks wherever I can. Not up here. I was just kind of, once I got hit in there, I was just kind of bouncing around. There wasn't much I could do. Okay, so if there's chopsticks anywhere, they're definitely down there. Yeah, you can see them. Okay. We got to go back for those. Yikes. Okay. So we know what we need to do there now. So we should be able to get it this time around. Okay. Woo, that recovery there. Okay. All right, cool. And now, can we do this? Yes, we can. Perfect. All right. Everything is lava. Very good name for a level where you basically cannot touch the ground. All right, where's my balance? What is that up there? I wonder if that's where we're supposed to go. All right. It looks like there's something up there. Let's see if we end up there anyway. Ah, there's the chopsticks. Okay. Wow, we actually hit those spikes. Okay. These levels have a really good flow to them. We'll get these, and then we will move on. Okay. We are out of here. All right. It looks like that's the end of the first world, so let's go back and see if we can get some good times on these levels. Hey, be careful. The ADS found you. ADS? The anti-delivery service. They hate delivery because reasons. All right, so I guess this is a chase level. So it looks like they just kind of follow our character. It doesn't really matter how fast we're going. All right, and then they just charge into us periodically. Okay. Again, I'm not a huge fan of this sliding mechanic. We'll wait for this. Okay. Ooh, that was very tight. Okay, so I thought we were going to have to swing through there, but it looks like... Oh, the ADS didn't spawn again. I wonder if they stop spawning after you die a certain number of times. You know, I guess I just have to get better at this game. I actually think it's probably faster to just climb this wall. Oh, okay, so I I took damage there. Not intentional. Oh yeah, I think it's much faster to climb the wall. Back to level select. Let's do world 1. That looks so hard. It's a decently difficult level. They've definitely ramp up the difficulty as soon as you get into world 2, which I think is really cool. Did we not get the chopsticks? Oh, right, because I died. Oof. But let's see if we can go back and get golds for any levels I don't have golds on just yet. Okay. So we need a 4.5 on this level. This is the first level. It shouldn't be too difficult to get that good of a score. You can't skip the dialogue in this game, which is pretty nice. All right, so a couple mistakes. We can go right back to level select, and it looks like if you hit... the game doesn't say this, but it looks like if you hit select on your controller, you can actually go back to the next level. Oop. Okay, never mind. I'm trying to find the quick start. It looks like Y is the quick retry. Okay. So we got a 9 flat. Let's go back to level select and see how good that is. Not quite good. All right, but let's go back to the first world. So we need a 4-5. I have the instant restart here if I need it. All right, any mistakes for this level is probably going to result in a reset. Just barely able to get it there. Okay. So we need an 8.6 here. That shouldn't be too bad. Boom. All right, there we go. These gold times are pretty tight. Down to milliseconds here. But really fun. I will say this game has, I think, a really good flow to it for the most part. Like the jumps, the dashes, the sword teleporting. I think they blend together really well as far as like the movement goes. Like it feels smooth, doing combinations of tricks. The only thing that I would say is counter to that is actually sliding. The sliding feels really slow. I'm not a huge fan of it. Aside from that, though, I do. You can see like the sliding just isn't as smooth as the rest of the gameplay. I do really like the game so far, though. So we need a 9.25 on this one. Let's see if we can get that. Like I said, sliding is not my strong suit here. Oh my god. Especially these short little slides where like you don't have a lot of room. Okay. I'm going to have to... I'm playing with an analog stick. I think for this level I'm going to have to swap to the D-pad. A little bit better. Not quite what we want, but we're getting there. Sliding does feel a little bit better with the D-pad. Oh, I went to the next level by accident. I wish there was a restart level in the final option. Like, you know, continue level select, retry, something like that. Ah, we still just barely missed it. Looks like any bonk in this level is really going to cost you a lot of time. Okay, so... and then we want to go this way. Where is the end goal? Okay, so it looks like we have to do this climb here. All right, let's retry this. Okay, this is probably not the run here. Let's see what kind of a time we need. That is a not quite a PB. My PB is 8.88. And we need... oh, looks like we're good on this one. Okay. So we need to go a little bit faster on this level. So we're going to have to go back to this one. Yeah, you have to have just a little bit of momentum for that last slide. So you have to do kind of a turnaround right here. Ooh, just we're kissing it right there. Still not quite. This is a very tough level to get a good time on. I think it's going to come down to this corner and getting a good slide turnaround on it. All right. Woo! Wow! We still missed it. Okay, so I'm glad we came back and did this. You can actually kind of... you'll notice it when I'm doing this level. It turns out if you are holding... or not holding dash, but if you dash in a slide, you can just continually slide, which is not something the game tells you. It does seem to be a little slower than the regular movement. But it makes this, like, chaining these slides a little easier. Okay, that's definitely a miss there. Bonk the wall. Oh, man. We're so close. This is maybe the tightest one of all of them. We'll give it a couple more tries, and then we'll move on. Oh, no. That might have been it. That definitely would have been it if it wasn't for that little bonk there. Oh. Woo, there we go. All right, so we can move on. I'm curious, it says we unlock harder levels. Okay, so we can toggle the harder levels. We might not have any unlocked just yet because we do only have the 4 gold trophies. So let's see if we can get gold trophies for all these levels and then see if that unlocks like a chapter 1 hard mode levels or something like that. So we need a 4.6 on this level. All right, so the first one is just going to be routing. So you can chain those together pretty well. All right. This level shouldn't be too difficult if we can get this first. There we go. Maybe a little high on that jump. Yep. Okay, I do want to check something real quick. So if we hit this, can we just... Yes, okay. So close. Ah, you can't go then through the saws. I was trying to get like a deboost off of the saws there, but... Woo, there we go. You actually can't do that. They're like a solid object. Unlike in some other platformers where sometimes you can just damage boost through obstacles if they're in the way, and it's a little bit faster. Okay, so that's the goal. All right, so we got a 5.65. I wonder if that was good enough. So that was zoom. Whoo, close. I will say from a like a speedrunning, like a speedrunning perspective, this game really makes you have to understand the mechanics here really well to be able to get the gold times here. I wonder if you can... Okay, so you can skip this first one immediately. All right, there we go. Just barely. Okay, it looks like we go down and this way. We have these. So you probably... For this, you probably want to just go over all of this and then hit that. Perfect, okay. So swing around here. All right. Okay. I'm trying to do a dash jump. And something that the game briefly mentions in the wall jumping levels, you do actually, you can see, I go decently fast if I'm wall jumping, but you actually get a little bit of a boost if you jump from wall to wall. All right, 11:05. I wonder if that was good enough. Oh, wow, we have to cut like a full second off. Okay. Oh! I don't think you're supposed to be able to do that. Pretty funny, though. Okay, so that's probably going to cost me time-wise. So trying to figure out a good way to hit this. So we're going to be coming out of this. Okay, and I won't have a double jump there. So we do have to land on this first bit here. Closer, but not not quite what we want. Okay. That was like the perfect movement, but I didn't get my double jump back that time around, which is unfortunate. Oh no, we biffed it there at the end. But that seems to be the movement I want here. Oh, by, what is that, 100th of a second we missed it. Okay. We got it that time, even with a little bit of some bad movement on that wall. We were still able to get it just barely. All right, movement graduation. All right, so we got to look at the route here. So we want to go down and around. And then it looks like we have a nice climb section here. And then we want a dash here. A wall jump section. Into a slide. All right. Like I said, wall jumping is a little sticky sometimes. I missed the goal entirely. Okay, so we cut our PB almost in half. Let's see, what do we need for movement graduation? So we need 15 seconds. We can cut 4 seconds off pretty easy, I think. Okay, so I was trying to see if we can save time here. Maybe with that final jump. I don't think so. So it looks like we're going to have to do that as intended. All right. So we're probably going to lose time on the wall jumping section. Perfect. Okay, that's exactly what we wanted. Ooh, just barely missing it. It's always by about a second here. Ah, I meant to hit this button and dash out of it, but that's fine. That probably cost me some time there. Yep. All right, we'll try it again. I wonder, can we hit that from here? So if we take a really tight jump. Ooh, it it is a really tight jump. I think we might be able to save a little bit of time. It's going to be difficult. Oh, you just barely miss it. All right, so it's probably safer to just go the intended way here. Ah, okay. I'm not even sure if that would have been a good time there. Ah, the wall grab. So you want to just barely tap that first wall. Ah, all right. So we got too much of a cling there. So you want to just kiss that just barely. Okay, so let's practice this section. So we want to... You can kind of skim across those if you slide, and it's just about the perfect distance to save yourself, like having to be super precise with your movement there. Oh, got a jump eaten there. Ah, yikes. All right. So that's probably the run there, but we can practice this section a little bit better. So I think that's probably the better strat there, just to kind of explain what I'm doing there. So I actually want to walk off and then use the double jump out of a dash here. Still slow, but that gives you just about the perfect to dash off and then double jump to land on the next platform to continue like that double jump dash chain. Ah, a little close there. All right, still a little slow. So I think you're carrying your momentum that whole time. We hit the wall just barely, unfortunately. Okay. Oh, another wall kiss there. Cutting it a little too close. This is also probably just a little too slow. So I think we're losing just a little bit too much time on the wall jumps here. Yeah, see, not quite optimal there. And again, the wall jumping, it's just a little sticky. Yeah. We almost had a clean section there. Ah, it's always the last one that gets you. That was definitely not it, but it was close. It was a lot closer. So if we can get a good wall jump section here, I think we can do this one. But it's really going to come down to that wall jump section there. We're going to need we're going to need 4 clean wall jumps in order to be able to hit that time there. Alright, it looks like maybe my jumps are getting eaten, but that might just be from hitting the buttons on my controller a little fast. Typically, okay, so I might, we'll do, it would be something like this. I'm playing with like a Bluetooth controller, so sometimes button inputs get eaten if you're hitting them too fast. With these kind of controllers. Oh, so close, but so far. Ah. This is a difficult one. Let's try moving on. I'll have to come back to that one. Not quite sure. Looks like 11 seconds is the next goal for this one. Okay, so we're going to have to deal with this. We might be able to make this jump. So if we boost into a jump dive like that. Okay. And then so for this section, if we're just zooming, we're definitely going to have to hit that, but then we can, from here, jump. All right, perfect. So it looks like we have a route, so we're going to go like this over. Whoop. And then we're going to skip this one and land here. Hit this one, and then come back around manually. And then hit that for the quick turnaround. That was a little slow. We probably got silver on that one there. Yep, so we need 11 seconds on this one. We'll try it a couple more times. Okay, so missing. This is a very tight, like, bunny hop here. Let's see if we can. It looks like we don't really need that bunny hop, which is good to know. Oh, I didn't turn around quick enough. All right, so I might actually skip that spring up there. Because it looks like, so we're going to have to do this one. So we'll be this right here, and then we can skip that one, and then we can get the quick turnaround ourselves here. Okay, so this is going to be a bit of a tight turnaround here. Ooh, just barely. Okay, so I had a little mess up on the route, so we should be able to get this with some cleaner play here. Ooh, okay. So I was missing, I think, a jump there. You can kind of see how tight some of these jumps are when I mess them up. Ooh, there we go. We got it. Okay. Again, these are very tight. Okay, tight danger. And then so for this one, we're definitely going to... All right, so it's going to be dash, jump, dash. And then we're just going to take this immediately, probably carry the momentum through this first section here, and just do something like this. Hopefully take this boost through here. Okay, so it looks like we have to do a wall jump here, so we should be able to like land on this one and just bypass. All right, so we have to do the jump. Okay. Getting the inputs a little backwards here. Yeah, I keep wanting to dash there when it's a jump. Ooh, I think you could do that, actually. You carry your momentum forward so much when you do that, actually. So it almost bounces you through. I think if I use the momentum carry property of the sword dash there, I should be fine. Ah, it wouldn't let me do the sword dash. Let's try that one more time. And then dash into it. Okay, so I think the issue is I'm dashing into my sword. If I turn around, I could maybe go a little further, but I think that would kill my momentum entirely. So we're just going to have to take a little bit of extra time. Whoa, okay, in this area. Yeah, because you're almost there. Okay, I should be getting my dash back here. Okay, let's lab this out a little bit. So I need to be dashing. So we'll be dashing. It doesn't quite get you through, unfortunately. Right, and then you can skip this one. Okay. So you can't quite make that one on the first jump, unfortunately. Whoop! Hey, got here a little late. That's cool. How's it going? Hope you're having a good night, Beast. I keep wanting to hit the dash button anytime I come out of one of these portals here, but that's not what I'm supposed to do in this specific instance. I have to delay the dash just a bit here. Okay, so we got an 11:35 on tight danger, and that is not quite enough. So we need a 10:8. That's not too much time that we're losing on this one. Okay, we need to find a way to make it smoothly through this area, whatever that entails. It's been pretty good. What about you? Pretty good. I'm chilling. Things have been going pretty smoothly for me in general. And we're just doing some like IL levels here. Hoping to get a good time on these. Okay, so there's like a delay where even if I get hit, I can't, unfortunately, dash like immediately after to make up for it. So I think, so this is what I'm gonna try. I'm gonna hit this and just take the hit there. Can you make it up to this one? Okay, so you can hit this. Oh my god. All right. Okay, and that final movement is also costing me just a little bit of time there. Yeah, you see, you don't quite hit this one. If I do come in off a double jump. Okay, so you can just barely hit it if you like at the very tip of your jump here. But that's going to be, I think, far too tight of a jump to feasibly get in one of these runs. What's the name of this one? This is Velocity Noodle. Ah, not quite. It's like a precision platformer. The main mechanic is that you have this sword that's floating around me. You can see me throwing it out to teleport. That's kind of like the main gimmick this game has. It's pretty cool. It flows really smoothly, especially in the later levels where you have to start chaining attacks together a lot more. I'm just gonna have to like hope I can get it. I wonder what, so I got it that one time. I wonder what the like trigger for that is, or like how high up I need to be. All right. That could have been it. I got really confused by the launch I got there. The one that really messes you up. That I haven't found a way to make it through that part consistently here. Like I always take some sort of damage, and you are moving a little too fast to get your dash back to dash through this area. Even that wasn't good enough, and that was a pretty decent run, considering that I'm taking that damage boost every time. Yeah. I think the only way to get through this level with a gold time is to figure out how to beat this first area without taking this damage boost. Or alternatively, like doing something wild here to save a little bit of time. That's like almost it. Maybe I should just ride this second one here. That you still take damage, but you move through this a lot smoother. Okay, so that's what we're gonna have to do. I guess trying to skip that first. A little too close there, but trying to skip that first trampoline was actually costing me. Perfect that time. We even messed up a ton, but I saved so much time not bonking that it didn't even matter there. Such is routing speed runs, you know. Yikes. Okay, I wasn't even paying attention to what happened there. Okay, so dash into these, let these ride. You have to jump up to that one. That's fine. Because you can jump to that one, and then I think if I neutral my stick... Oh, there's the goal right there. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay. I wonder if that was good enough. So, probably not. I want to say that was this one. Sanic cosplay. All right. So we need to cut just a little bit more time off. So I really just need to take this first corner just a little bit faster. Okay, so that is pretty tight here, getting this, just because you're kind of moving really fast. Obviously, that's the point, though. There we go. Woo! Very tight movement there that you have to chain together. All right, watch your herd. So this is the one where I don't think you can climb this. I wonder if you can go under. The answer is no. We're going to eat whatever damage it tries to give us there, just in general. So let's try this one more time. Okay. So we have to swing a little bit right here. Okay. Okay. So I want like an immediate jump. On this first spring. Hitting this first trampoline is not as easy as it looks. Yeah, so getting hit on this first one is not what we want. So what's the time we're looking for? 12:40. All right. So gold is 1050, it looks like. There's no way. Hold on. Let me exit this level. Did we already get gold? There's no way. Oh, we did? Wow. All right. Well, we're done with that one. So 1078, it looks like on this one. Okay, so that's a really smooth first. Oh wow, I don't know how I got that. That's probably not going to be recreatable. Okay, so we're going to have to do a big jump here, a double jump here, and then we can do something like that. Got it. Oh, I was like launched down. Okay. So we're probably going to have to do a double here as well. Okay, so then we have this area. Where is the end point? That's always what I'm looking for in these. That little skips like this. Okay. Ah, we missed the slide. But then we have to do just a jump like this. All right. All right, so we have to do the one jump. I mean, we should be able to make that. All right, so that's just barely not good enough. Ah, the wall jumps, they're just a little sticky. You can kind of see like the sword goes in, but there's just that little issue sometimes. But that's good enough there. So upward and onward to the next one. Okay, so where is the end goal here? All right, whoop, weird camera shenanigans. Okay, so, oh yeah, this level. So this is the level where you really get to see some of the cool stuff that happens in this game. Okay. Okay, so we come out of here like this. I wonder if that was good enough. 1386, that's silver. Ah, ha, ha. Okay. Good carry there. Ah, we hit bonked right there. I might need to wait when I hit this one. Okay, that's probably what I'm gonna do. Do you think that dopamine, or do you think that video games give dopamine easily? I mean, I would say yes to that, because that's like kind of the point, right? Like video games are inherently a medium that people use as enjoyment. So if it wasn't like, maybe dopamine as a measurement might not be the best, but I think they do inherently give you. Well, I wonder if you can skip that one. You know, they do inherently give you pleasure. However you want to measure that, because they're made to be fun. Oh, I can definitely make that. Got to be careful about that double there. Move just enough. I don't even know what hit me there. Okay. So that one I have to like ride just a little. There we go. Woo! Did we get it? Okay, so I think you have to. You maybe don't have to do that skip, but that skip is definitely going to save a ton of time on this. It's pretty tight. So we do have to do a bit of a jump there. I don't think we got it, right? Let me check. Oh, we did get it. I wonder what time I was looking at because we nailed this level. So it should have been that one. We got 2 more to try and get, and I gotta find the chopsticks in this final level. But we'll try and get some fast times here. This one shouldn't be too difficult. The word "to" kind of changes the sentence. I mean, I guess it changes the like intent of the sentence. I mean, I think the answer is yes. Like obviously, again, depending on the game, like some games are just like really satisfying, and like some amount of inherently satisfying gameplay is going to be due to like dopamine from, you know, doing something that you think is that you find enjoyable. Like some people play Stardew Valley and it's like a dopamine hit for them, right? Because they just like doing cute farming stuff, you know? Where's the end of this level? I wonder if you can you climb this? Oh no. Oh wait, I don't think I'm supposed to be up here. Oh, look at this. Oh no. There's no collision on this side. Look at this wonky. This is really funny. I don't think you're supposed to be up here. Can I throw my sword? I don't think I can throw my sword past this. That's really funny. Okay. That was definitely not... The devs probably did not mean for you to be able to find that. Okay. Okay, so a little bit of a time save here. Okay. Wow, those spikes have pretty big hitboxes. I was watching a video and it said that playing video games is bad for your health because of how easily you get dopamine. I mean, being able to easily get dopamine isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, there's plenty of stuff in the world that gives you dopamine really easily. No, it's not inherently dangerous. Like, the danger with stuff like that, like obviously I haven't seen this video you're talking about, but like typically the danger with things like that is like when you get too much of a substance, right, you build up a tolerance to it, so you need more to experience the same feeling. And there's also like the other issue that might be at play here is, Jesus, I can't believe I missed that. That if you get a synthetic amount of a thing, your body stops producing it itself, which is like an issue you see with people that... Yikes. All right, what am I doing? So I need to beat this level in 12 seconds. But that's something you see, like, if you put lip balm on too much when your lips aren't chapped, your lips will stop producing the oil that keeps them from getting chapped. So it's like a vicious cycle, right? Like, you'll start... This is definitely not the way I'm supposed to go because this takes far too long. I wonder if you are supposed to go this way. There's like no... Even if you did this climb really fast, you would not be able to make this climb in 12 seconds. Oh yeah, your body stops producing something naturally if you're getting a bunch of it from other, like an outside source. It's the same reason that steroids are bad for you, right? You inject your body with a bunch of testosterone or human growth hormone, and your body stops making it. So when you stop steroids, your body isn't making any testosterone, right? So there's a bunch of issues from that. You can like almost make that jump. You don't really have those issues if you're getting like, I think that's what you have to do. Like dopamine from video games, you know, like you're not going to get like an overwhelming amount, like to the point where like you're going to build up a tolerance and have to like play games all the time to get your dopamine fix. You're also not, it's like all natural dopamine, so you don't really have the issue of like not having like enough of a supply of natural dopamine, which would make you depressed. That's like one of the forms of depression. So while I do think like video games give you dopamine, one, it's not like constant, like you're not... That's definitely what you're supposed to do, because I was at about 10 or 11 seconds once I got up there. I wonder if you can... I doubt you can do it just from this one section here. Let me try that real quick. This run's dead anyway. Like, right now I have to do this turnaround here. Yeah. So you have to do this turnaround to get enough to get up here, and then I think like you just want to land up here and then take the boost. Oh, yikes. All right. I don't know. Thoughts on what I said? Oh, come on. So close. All right. If I take that hit there, we're not going to get it, unfortunately. It's kind of that tight right now. I hit it, but I couldn't get the wall jump. I missed the trampoline. Oh, we got it. I moved a little slow, but we still just barely got it. So Oh, right, that was the last level. So let's go back to level select. We'll take a look at all these. So we have... Okay, so I do have to do the Noodle Man. Okay, and I have to beat this in under 25 seconds. That shouldn't be too bad. All right. Okay. Oh my god, this first section is really giving it to me here. And this is again where that climb is slower than... I think we just got a gold, so we don't even really need to worry about that. That one has a lot of room for error. Oh no, we needed 25. Okay. Again, still a lot of room for error in this, even with... We only have to cut about 2 seconds off here. Ah, I just barely missed that jump. All right. There's nothing I could have done about that. Oh my god, dude, this patrol car. I don't know why my jumps are not coming out smooth right here. So do I think so I have to double jump to get this one, and then, okay, we can do this. All right. Okay, we're smoothing it up. Oh my god. No jumps for me, I suppose. Alright, so I want to like land here and then double jump, I guess. Oh my god. The car is messing my speed run up so bad because it's not even like super consistent where it's gonna like decide to attempt to hit you. Alright, this should be fine here. Alright, we did it. Okay. So I think that's all of them except for one level. Yep, we got all of these. I believe I know where the chopsticks are in this level. I think I saw them during my run. So let's go and try and grab those real quick. I'm pretty sure they were right here. No? Alright, we'll just have to look for them. Maybe they're back here. The answer is no. We can take it nice and slow now because... oh, yeah, that's right. They're up here. Not that way. If you go the other way. I forgot I did get the chopsticks in this level, but I died, like, right after. All right, cool. So we got the chopsticks. I don't really think this just... I'm just asking your opinion. Oh, all right. That's fair. All right. So we still can't toggle the hard stages. I have almost all the golds. This is, I think, the only level I wasn't able to get gold on in this first zone. Or no, sorry. It looks like there's two. Which one was this again? Okay. So you have the big here. All right. Ah, yeah, this level. That's right. I remember this one. So we just barely missed it. So we need a 10-15. I think we can do that without too many issues. Now that we have some of the other levels under our belt here. Okay, pretty close. Oh no! All right, so we need a perfect climb there, but as I've mentioned before, with the way that the wall jumps kind of work, it's gonna be difficult to get a perfect climb. Walls are a little sticky in this game. You can see just barely missing it because of the wall jumps. Oh no. So we got a 10-27 and we need a 10-15. Yeah, the wall jumps are just not having it with me right now. Ah, still just barely missing it. The swap is getting me. I think I can take, like, the swap immediately here. Like, jump across. There we go. Whew. Jesus, just barely. Baseline of the video about that. I said the baseline. Oh, okay. So now we just need this one. We'd have to save about a second here, which we might be able to do. Let's see if I can remember this level. Movement graduation. Oh, yeah, this level. Wall jumps, man. Like... Did we get it? 1576? I still think that's too slow. We need to save almost a minute. Oh man, that was my best run so far, and I don't think it's gonna get much better than that on this level. I think I can maybe skip this first, or sorry, not this first. This first one, oh my god. The cling right there. There's like a little bit of a delay you have to like wait when you first hit a wall. It doesn't immediately register that you can do like a wall jump. So if you try to wall jump immediately, you just won't. Okay, so I'm gonna try and do something like this to save a little bit of time. Just skip that teleport right there. Oh yeah, I didn't have another jump, so I have to delay with the sword there. That's fine. I can do that, no problem. All right, wall jump, wall jump, wall jump, jump, sword delay. Still a little too slow here, but that's fine. The wall jumps were not nearly as good as they should have been. Oh my god, can I throw my sword through this? It looks like you can't throw your sword through walls. It won't even let me throw the sword this way. That's unfortunate. I wish I could hit these. All right, I'm gonna leave it here, just because this is one of the levels where the some of the minor issues with the game that don't really show up when you're playing the game normally start to kind of come out a little bit. Just making the speedrun a little more difficult. That being said, this was Velocity Noodle. I think this game is really fun. I think generally the movement flows together really well if you're not trying to like speed run it and shave off like every single millisecond to get like the gold trophies. They're all totally doable. That the level that I'm stuck on it is pretty difficult, but it's not anything that's out of reach. For me, maybe you're just trash. Maybe. But overall, I think this is a really good precision platformer. It starts out, pretty easy. Like you get tons of time to kind of play with the mechanics. And, they take a bunch of levels to introduce like jumping and dashing and all these things to you, which like is fine. The dialogue for the tutorials is pretty short, which I like. The game kind of gives you the like, all right, this is how you do the stuff for this game. Most of this you probably know. Here's a couple levels to kind of like mess around in. And then once you get to like the later levels in Chapter 1, you can really see the difficulty ramping up and a lot of like having to chain together actions without touching the ground, like jumps and dashes out of teleporters to another teleporter, so on and so forth. I think we've seen some of the issues that the game has. There's a little bit of a lag with the wall jumps that make them not so crisp. The dashing, the way the game teaches it to you is a little... I would say that the dashing, the way the game says it, just like hold down while running to dash is bad. Being able to slide. I kept saying dashing. The slide I don't really like. The way that the game teaches it to you. So, run, push down, you slide. It doesn't flow well, I think, at all with the rest of the game. That specific way to slide. But dash sliding, where you can continually slide and at speed, I think completely solves that issue. I wish the tutorial would explain it that way. Like, oh, you can slide. You could also slide dash. Because it's just it feels completely different. It's way easier to chain it together. You don't have to worry about hitting down every time you come out of a slide to slide again for the next area. I think the slide dash solves all the problems I had initially with the slide. I just wish it was taught because it did take me grinding that one level for a good time to figure out that it was even a thing that existed. Unless I just missed it in the tutorial, I don't think I did. What else? I think that's it. Yeah, just the kind of like sticky wall jumps, not being super crisp, is really my only complaint about the game. Everything else I absolutely adore. It runs really well. You don't. I keep hitting the dash button just because it's like almost a habit at this point. But once you get up to speed through a dash, you don't really need to continually dash over and over again to maintain speed, which I really like. Like I said, I do it just because it gives my hands something to do in like those longer sections. It helps me time out jumps too to be able to hit dash and then jump. But that's just a personal preference. The collectibles, the chopstick noodles, or the chopstick noodles, the chopsticks, I think are generally really well hidden. Most of them you'll either come across or they're like in an area you would expect them to be in. You just have to get to it or look for it, which so far I've really liked. One thing that I would like them to add is some games do this where once you collect the collectible of the level, right, it disappears completely and you don't have to worry about it again. And that's what this game does. I would like to see, and this is just personal preference. This doesn't actually affect the gameplay overall in general. I would like to see an outline where the chopsticks were after you collect them. So if you wanted to do like a 100% run of a level to see like, oh, how long does this level take me to beat just beating it, and then also beating it while grabbing the chopsticks, which is normally a draw for a lot of people, like a 100% or like a all collectibles kind of speed run. Something like that, so you could go through the levels over and over again and practice getting, the chopsticks for like a 100% time, or like a separate time on the leaderboard, or this game doesn't have a leaderboard, but like a separate trophy time that incorporated also getting the collectible, like a 100% trophy. That's just something I would like to see as like a cool addition. But that's completely separate from the way that the game is now, which I already like. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. So if you liked Velocity Noodle, like you liked what you saw, I know this was a little bit longer of a showcase because we got into like a little bit of speed running and trying to grind down times for this game. Definitely be sure to check it out. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link for the game will be in the description as always. And that is going to be it for me. So have a good day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are. And I will see you in the next video.